Morgan is directed by Luke Scott, son of Ridley Scott, and tells the tale of an artificial intelligence being named Morgan that was created in a lab, and the group of scientists that are there trying to make sure this being is raised properly. And when something goes wrong, a consultant, played by Kate Mara, is sent to make sure things are all going the way they should. I don't want to say much else about the plot because I actually chose to not watch any trailers for this movie. In fact, I didn't even know what it was about. When I bought the ticket for this movie, the person behind the counter said, "I'm interested in this. What's this about, man?" And I was like, I actually don't know. A friend of mine had said the trailer looked cool, so I decided I was just gonna not watch anything, and I went into this movie completely blind. I didn't even know what genre this movie was. Not making this up. I had no idea what I was going to watch. So I was pleasantly surprised to see the movie unfold, and I think that some people are going to see this film and be very disappointed because I went home and I watched the trailer, and the trailer markets this as a very fast-paced, dark science fiction action adventure thrill ride, and it's really not like that at all. The first half of this movie is deliberately slow paced. It takes a while for the film to pick up, so to speak, if you were going to this movie expecting more of a thrill ride type adventure. It's not like that at all. This is a more cerebral movie, at least for its first half. There's a lot of scenes for the first half where Kate Mara is just talking to the various characters in this movie, getting to know them, trying to figure out what life in this small place is like, and whether or not this artificial creation is going to be a danger to humanity or an advantage for humans. And so the first half of the movie will bore people. In fact, I found myself often checking my watch because it just wasn't that interesting. It's well directed, it looks nice, it's well shot, and it's very well acted, but the issue for me with that first half were the characters. There wasn't really anyone that I could latch onto. They weren't very interesting as people. Everyone is giving good performances, and everything looks really good, and everything sounds really good. It's a totally competent film in just about every way. The characters were just kind of boring. The second half, however, picked up quite a bit with an interrogation scene with an actor that I had no idea was in this movie, so I won't ruin it for you if you don't know either, because like I said, had no idea what this movie was about. And everything after that scene was actually kind of riveting, and I had a really good time with the rest of the movie. But some people will also feel betrayed by that if you liked the first half. If you liked the fact that the first half of Morgan was a more cerebral film, you might feel betrayed by the last half being a little more conventional action Hollywood type entertainment. That didn't bother me because I had absolutely zero expectations going in. I was pleasantly surprised by the good performances, the way the film looked, the fun last half, and even though the first half was kind of boring and the characters weren't very interesting, I did find myself oddly drawn in by the movie, despite the fact that there have been a lot of other films like this, like Ex Machina or maybe even Species, I guess. This movie is fine. It could have been better. The characters could have been more drawn out, but the action sequences were exciting. I liked Kate Mara quite a bit in this film. I liked pretty much all the performances, especially from the actress who plays Morgan, who was in The Witch, and I'm looking forward to seeing her work in M. Night Shyamalan's new movie Split. But there's also going to be something that I'm going to kind of maneuver as I discuss it because I don't want to, ruin anything, but there is a reveal of sorts, and I guessed it within the first 5 minutes. Now, that isn't necessarily something I'm going to detract from this movie because since I guessed it so early on, I decided to watch the rest of the movie thinking, well, if this is what's really happening, let's just watch the movie like that's happening. And I started watching the movie like a hawk each scene, and the movie doesn't cheat. And that's something that I can definitely say is a plus for this movie because it never cheats on what you eventually figure out. And even though it was kind of predictable, I still like the way the film handled it. I think if you watch the trailer for this movie and go into this movie with expectations, you will probably be disappointed because it's really not like the trailer. The trailer gives away far too much. I'm not even going to show any bits of the trailer in this review like I normally would. I'm just going to avoid doing that because I think you should go into this movie with as little knowledge as possible, just like I did, and I think you'll find the most enjoyment out of it, because if you go into it with expectations, you could feel a little betrayed by this film, and it might affect your judgment in the end. So I think if you go in with as little knowledge of the marketing as possible, you'll probably find the most enjoyment out of Morgan. Not the best characterization, very good looking movie, very great sounding movie, well acted. It's just kind of fine. You watch it and it's fine. I'm gonna give Morgan a B-. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. Look forward very soon to my review of Book of Shadows Blair Witch 2. I can't wait to talk about that. I'm reviewing all the Blair Witch movies before the new one comes out. I'm just laughing because I never thought I'd say that. I'm going to review Book of Shadows Blair Witch 2. Okay. You guys are the best. Thank you so much as always for watching. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.